Satnam, and welcome to the month of success and prosperity. Today's workshop is about attitude, how you deal with people. Because the first attitude that obviously I want for you and what I have been hammering you with from day one is the attitude of royalty, of being a king. But sometimes people mistake that and deal with other people in a wrong way, and I want to correct that today here. I want to clarify things. So when I met the president of Guyana for the first time, his name is Bharat Jagdev. Um, it was a very cordial meeting. I was not at all intimidated by the fact that I was meeting with the president. In fact, he was so impressed with me that the meeting was supposed to be for 20 minutes. He extended for 2 hours. For 2 hours, he was with me. And then we became friends. But I never ever, even after we became friends, I never called him Bharat. I called him Mr. President. And he kept insisting, he's saying, why are you doing that? I said, no, what's right is right. So some people get it wrong. They jump the gun too fast. Now I'm going to give you the opposite example. I introduced my friend to a company that deals in properties, and they do really expensive properties in Goa. In fact, the properties they make in Goa are the most expensive in Goa. And when I introduced the owner of the company to my friend, the owner said, yes, I'm going to put on my best sales executive onto you and she will explain to you everything. And he said, sure, no problem. And she picks up the phone and says, hi, Ajinkya, how are you? Tell me, what can I? And they were so casual. There was no respect. There was no, she was not dealing with a client. In her mind, she was dealing with a friend. And it put off my friend. He got a little pissed off. He said, who does she think she is? I mean, so you can either goof up really badly on how you deal with people, or you can do the right thing and deal with them in a scientific way, the correct ways, which I want to explain to you. When I was with M.F. Hussain, I was really close to this artist, M.F. Hussain. Whoever knows about this artist knows that he's the #1 artist ever born in India. He's also called the Picasso of India. Now, I am a king, I am royalty in my mind, but whenever I was with him, I would never let him open a door. Even his car door. When the car used to come and we were traveling together, I would go and I would open the door for him, make sure he sat. He was 92 years old. I was 40. Look at the age difference. There was genuine respect. It's called bhava, Bhava, that comes from your soul. It comes from your heart towards somebody who you deeply respect. I'm traveling back from Rishikesh to Mumbai, and on the same flight, I was booked in business class. And on the same flight, I saw at the airport my teacher, who was not directly my teacher, but because I was at that time learning Iyengar Yoga, he was one of the biggest Iyengar Yoga teachers in India. And as soon as I met him, I spoke to him at the airport for 1 hour. And when we entered the plane, I said, sir, you please sit here. I will take your seat. He said, no, you paid for business class. No. I said, sir, I cannot sit in business class when my teacher, again I'm telling you, he was not directly my teacher, but he was a great man. He was a very wise soul. So I said, sir, please allow me. I took his economy class ticket and I went behind and I made him sit in business class. The point is, how you treat people around you has a huge impact on how people react to you, how life reacts to you, how energies react to you. If you have this attitude which is like of ego, if you have this attitude of, I am, and you have your nose up in the air all the time, it's not going to work. There's one thing that is being subservient. You're like this with everyone, and whoever comes your way, they can kick you on the face and go away. And there's one thing, to have the right attitude in knowing the depth of your relationship with each person and dealing with them according to that depth. Keeping in mind the bhava that you need to have towards people who are obviously much more wiser than you, smarter than you. I don't care much about wealthier than you. But when you have that bhava, those people give out a genuine blessing, and it affects you, it affects your life. So whether you're dealing in business, whether you are in a relationship, Understand the depth of your relationship, understand where you stand in that equation, and maintain that appropriateness. Because otherwise, you're going to lose the business of like how the property company lost the huge contract which my friend would have given them to construct his bungalow in Goa because of the wrong attitude, the wrong words used. They were out of their depth. They didn't know what they were doing. What I want you to understand is every relationship has a certain level, it has a certain balance. If you go below, you falter. If you go above, you falter. It's like water. I said this in my month of mindfulness. One sip more than you need. Once so you're thirsty, you drink, but you drink only when you're thirsty. So one drop less than what you needed to drink is bad for you, and one drop more is bad for you. You need to find the balance of how much water you're drinking. In the same way, in relationships, you need to find the correct balance. You need to find the equilibrium. You need to find that space, that state that you belong in that equation. And then live that equation, live that relationship on the basis of that. Because one drop more can destroy a relationship, one drop less can destroy a relationship. Find out your equilibrium with the people around you, the people you are going to meet. I'll see you tomorrow. Tata.